So what do you think about people having a safety on their first gun?
I understand, clock guy, so forgive me. But I understand the desire to have a safety but not on a handgun.
Let's also be clear that when having a safety on a handgun, Smith & Wesson has had a lot of recalls.
On the safeties.
Yes, and so most guns have internal safeties.
Yes.
That will keep the gun safe if you were to drop it or something drastic were to happen. But that doesn't mean it's any more safe if you have a thumb safety on the gun. If you do, it's something you really got to practice with, become proficient with. It just adds a whole nother layer of complexity that I think makes it harder for new shooters to actually operate the gun safely.
So in a high-stress situation, when you pull that gun out, you're just going to start squeezing the trigger, and that gun's not going to go bang. And you're going to sit here and say, why is this gun not going bang?
Unless you go through and
unless you're very much like, as you pull, but at that point, why have it?
But, all right, so 1911s have a really well-designed safety.
They do.
But most people don't shoot them correctly. Like when I'm running a 1911, I always keep that thumb on top of the safety. The only time it comes off is when I'm putting the safety back on. And then if the safety's on, my thumb is still sitting on top, so I just have to flick down and come off. There are a lot of safeties, though, on some guns, like Berettas, that are counterintuitive. They're in a weird position. You have to, like, flick them up or something. I want a safety that if I'm drawing the gun, my thumb can come in high, and it can press down and disengage that safety so then I can fire. The Smith & Wesson M&P, the new SIGs aren't bad. They've got a pretty well-designed safety on the M17, M18.
Oh, yeah.
The P365, the Hellcat, believe it or not, it's a little bit small.
Do they have one with the Hellcat option?
They do.
Oh, okay.
They've got an ambi. They're similar to what SIG has on the
Okay.
P365s.
Yeah, see, when I don't even look at the ones with
Yeah.
safety, so sometimes I don't even know if the model comes with an optional thumb safety.
But even then, I wish those safeties were a little bit wider just to...
Yeah, they always typically try to keep them very flush, but then I'm like, you got to get these things on and off.
Yeah.
The 1911s, I think, do it the best, but...
Do you remember the Smith & Wesson Shield safeties? It's so the Shield Plus came out. I go into my gun store to buy one, and they only got in like 7 of the safety models. I needed to get holsters out for that gun. They were like, look, 2 days later, we've got a shipment coming in 2 days with no safety. I was like, I'll get the safety version. I tried to handle those guns. I could not get that safety off because it's so recessed. So I said, screw it. I'll wait 2 days. And that was the right call.
Yeah.
Do not get a Smith & Wesson Shield with a thumb safety because they're poorly designed. If you do have a thumb safety, I think it needs to be ambi.